If you've been following this channel for a while now, you will know that I really enjoy street photography. Living in Tokyo, there is so much to explore and so many people to photograph that I never get bored of this particular genre of photography. So in today's video, I really want to share with you what I bring with me when I go in the streets and yeah, basically what's in my bag when it comes to street photography. And if you want more details on all the piece of gears that I'm discussing today, check out the link in the description. And also you can check out my website, www.gibraltarphoto.com/mygears. Alright, so first of all, let's talk about the bag that I use. So I use the Peak Design everyday sling bag 3-liter version. So this is only 3-liter version, right? So it's pretty compact. Peak Design also makes a 6-liter version and a 10-liter version. But for my use and for street photography, I want to basically go as light as possible. So I will only bring this little right here, put it around my chest like this, and whenever I want to grab something, turn it around here, open it, grab my camera or the lens that I need, up, close it, and put it right back there and forget about it. That's basically what I want from this bag. I don't want to feel it, I just want to be able to walk around and completely forget about the bag. Whenever I need it, I just pull it in front of me, grab what I need, and that's it. And while it is only 3 liters, honestly there is so much space in this bag. You have a front pocket, a main pocket, and you also have inside the main pocket some small compartment where you can put SD cards or various accessories, whatever you need basically for your street photography everyday bag. Alright, so the next point that I want to discuss is the camera body that I bring with me. Well, basically I only own one camera, the Fujifilm X-T4, but it doesn't mean that I recommend it because it's the only one I own. It's a great hybrid camera, that it's maybe not the most compact body that you can get from Fujifilm. You have some other body like the X Pro 3 or maybe the X100V that are more compact for street photography. But the X-T4 is still, it's not bulky by any means. It fits perfectly in my bag, and it has great image quality with a 26 megapixel sensor. Well, it's a crop sensor, and it allows me to do everything I need. If you want a more detailed opinion and a more detailed review on this particular body, check out the video right here. I won't go into much detail in this video, but basically it is a compact hybrid camera that will allow you to do anything you need, and that has great ergonomics. It fits really well with the 2 lenses that I bring with me, and that's why I'm really happy with my X-T4. Alright, so now let's talk about lenses. So when you're out in the street, you would want a wide angle lens that will allow you to include more in your picture, give more context about the scenery, and a more mid-range telephoto lens that will allow you to isolate subjects and give a more intimate point of view of the scenery and some more details on whatever you're trying to photograph. So basically, following this logic, the 2 lenses that I chose for my street photography lenses are the 18mm f1.4 that you can see right here, and the 33mm f1.4. So when it comes to the 18mm f1.4, well, I chose this lens over the 16mm f1.4 because of its, mostly its autofocus. It has weather resistance, which is great when you go in the streets. It has great autofocus, which is essential for me because when you are around in Tokyo, you don't really have time to think about your lens and whether or not it will autofocus or not. People are really busy, the environment changes a lot, people are running around all the time, so I don't have time to think about, oh, can I autofocus on this, etc. I need a lens that just snaps, and the 18mm f1.4, being a relatively wide angle, just does that. If you want more information about this lens, again, check out this video right here. Okay, so now let's talk about the 33mm f1.4. So this lens was released about a month ago now, and yeah, it has become my most used lens for street photography. I used to own the 35mm f1.4, but basically the advantage of this lens compared to the 35 is first weather resistance and again autofocus. I was a bit limited by the autofocus of the 35mm f1.4, but with the 33mm f1.4 I completely forget about the lens, and that is exactly what I want out of my lenses and my gear. I want to forget about it, grab it as tools, use it, and forget about its limitation, because the limitations are not really limitation for me right now. So those are basically the two lenses that I use, and again I also have a review of the 33mm f1.4 that you can check right here. So what I do is that I typically go out with the 33mm f1.4 attached to my X-T4, and I will snap some pictures, and when I will reach a point in where I cannot physically move with my feet to have a wide enough angle, I will switch to the 18mm f1.4. It really depends on where I go. Some parts of Tokyo are full of really wide streets, so the 33 is ideal, and some others, like if you go to Harajuku or this kind of more condensed area, you really want the 18mm f1.4, and the 33 might not be as useful. So it depends on where I go, but typically that's the two lenses that I use for shooting. And by the way, if you're into street photography, tell me in the comments which Fujifilm gears, Fujifilm lens and body you're using. I'm kind of curious to know that. Alright, so now let's talk about accessories. So I try to bring a really limited amount of accessories when I go out, because I don't want to think about filters or whatever. What I will bring is one cleaning cloth, a little air blower in case I need to clean my filter, my sensor, sorry, or if I need to clean my lens, and basically one wrist strap. I also don't bring an extra battery, because the battery of the X-T4 typically lasts way longer than I need. When I go out in the street, I go for typically 2 to 3 hours max to shoot, and I've never reached a point where I didn't have enough battery with one battery of the X-T4. So I typically, don't bring another battery. What I bring also is basically I have two SD cards inside the X-T4, and I shoot in backup mode, meaning that every time I take a shot, this particular picture will be saved on both memory cards. And I bring an extra memory card with me just in case I get one that fails, right? Because I don't want to lose any data, so that's just for kind of reassuring myself that there won't be any problem. So yeah, so that's about it in terms of accessory. I don't bring anything else. I just want to keep it simple, and yeah, if I need to clean something, I clean it, and whenever I want to bring my camera, I bring a strap. So that's it. Alright, so now let's look at how I fit everything in the bag. So basically the way I do it is that first, I put the battery in the X-T4, right? Don't forget it, it's kind of an important point. I also insert my SD cards. And when I'm done with that, I will basically put my wrist strap onto my X-T4. Then I will attach the 33mm f1.4 to my X-T4. I will then insert the cloth for cleaning my lens with the air blower and the extra SD card inside my bag. Put the 18mm f1.4 on one side. and the X-T4 and the 33mm f1.4 attached together on the other side of the bag. And that's about it for my bag. I don't put any wallet or phone inside this bag. I just keep it in my pockets because I prefer it that way. But that's also an option. You can put that in your front pocket if you need to. Alright, so that's it for today. I hope that this video was useful to you. If it was useful to you, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in the next video. Cheers!